There's a lot I could say about the pay gap, but I'm going to make it quite personal because the personal is political. I want to start by apologising if anything that I say comes across as exclusionary in terms of an able-bodied, cisgendered or academic viewpoint. I acknowledge that many of my experiences are different from those of my black female colleagues or colleagues from other ethnic and religious backgrounds, and that's the whole point. Women are not the same, and the pay gap is not the same for everyone. Nationally, for example, Bangladeshi and Pakistani women earn 26% less than white men. And Rihanna Croxford recently did a study of Russell Group universities and found that compared to white men on average, white women earn 15% less, Asian women 22% less, and black women 39% less. I'm a historian here at the University of Bristol, and just looking at my own department gives you an example of the pay gap in action. This time last year, we had 46 members of the department who were on Pathway 1 or Pathway 3 contracts, which means teaching or teacher research contracts. Of those 46, 18 were women, which made up a percentage of 39% of the department. 20% of our department was made up by women in senior roles. Now you might say, that's okay, it's kind of par with averages, and things will change over time. As an older generation retires, then more women will take up more roles. But as a historian who looks at change over time, I can tell you that things don't necessarily improve. And again, we can see that in practice in my own department. Because 1 year on, we have gained 5 white men and we've lost 2 women. In practice, that means that our percentage of women has decreased from 39% to 32%, and women in senior roles in our department has decreased from 20% to 13%. And that's just gender. In the 2011 census for the UK, 13% of the population identified as black or minority ethnic. In my own department, 4 members of the department come from ethnic minorities, which makes up 8% of the department. But they are all from Asian backgrounds. We have no black colleagues and we have no BME colleagues in senior roles. Again, this is where we see the pay gap in action. Comparing ourselves to Russell Group ratios is not helpful. Having just one woman as a pro-vice chancellor in the university doesn't change the issues that are at play in our sector. Having one woman as a dean, again, doesn't change these issues. Because on International Women's Day last year, 2018, during the USS strikes, a panel headed by a woman shortlisted 4 white men to take up a senior management role in my university. But management didn't seem to think that this was an issue. And what are some of the structural issues that women face in our sector? Issues around periods, around menopause, around sexual harassment, and so many other issues that are here at play, including gendered assumptions around the roles that women should play in academia. For example, my female colleagues are often told they need to take up more personal duties because they're seen as more nice or compassionate than their male colleagues. So one of the ways in which managers often try to address gender imbalances is to try and get more women on committees. They try and get a gender balance in those things, in committees and panels and taking up kind of reviewing roles and so forth. But this doesn't change the structural issues at play once again. Instead, women are made to do more work because they are a minority. Women are tempted by making us think that we will be rewarded somehow for doing this extra work. And as a woman of colour in HE, I've often felt that I've got to do twice as much as my male colleagues to get just as far. On a number of times recently, I've been told by senior white men that I should feel sorry for my male colleagues. That my male colleagues aren't getting the same kinds of opportunities to sit on these committees and panels or take on these reviewing roles as female colleagues are. That the male colleagues' promotion prospects are being hindered in some way. Over the past year, a number of times then I've been told I have to feel sorry for white men, but who's feeling sorry for me? Who's speaking up for me and telling others that they should feel sorry for my position? Because my white male colleagues are not being faced with the same imperialist, racist patriarchy in the ways that I do. And I'm sick of feeling sorry for them, and I'm sick of placating white, usually male fragility. We all need to stop feeling embarrassed and fragile when talking about issues around race and gender. It can't just be the responsibility of people of colour to raise these issues, especially when we are thinking about and trying to tackle issues like casualisation or fighting the gender pay gap.